So Islamic countries in the Middle East, they're actually being attacked by Iran, condemn Iran. But Islamic organizations in Indonesia, thousands of kilometers away, condemned America instead. Right? Something doesn't add up. Following Iran's recent strikes across the region, members of the Gulf Cooperation Council, that's Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar, joined with the United States and Jordan to strongly condemn Iran's actions. Historically, Gulf states have had internal tensions, right? Qatar has had disputes with Saudi Arabia. Oman often pursues quieter diplomacy, and UAE balances business interests with regional security. So the unity is very rare. They're not distant observers, right? They're countries that live next door to Iran. They share the same waters, the same airspace, the same security threats. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, two major Islamic organizations, MUI and PBNU, publicly condemned the United States instead, right? Not Iran, the United States. MUI even urged President Prabowo to withdraw Indonesia from the Board of Peace. The Gulf states are not random actors, right? They have spent decades dealing with Iran's regional strategy, which include proxy militias, missile programs, maritime disruption, and influence corporations across the Middle East. When Gulf governments condemn Iran, they're responding to direct security threats. Second, the Middle East isn't divided simply between Muslim versus non-Muslim. That's a cartoon version of geopolitics. There is Sunni majority Gulf states, there is Shia majority Iran. If you think that Iran and Saudi Arabia are friends just because they're both Muslim countries, you're wrong, right? They're actually enemies. They're rivalries for regional dominance. Iran has long positioned itself as revolutionary power seeking regional influence, sometimes at the expense of its Arab neighbors. So when Gulf states speak, they're speaking from belief geopolitical reality, right? Now here's the irony. Organizations like MUI and PBNU are geographically thousands of kilometers away from the conflict. They do not face Iranian missiles. They do not face maritime disruption in the Gulf. Right? They do not face, cross-border militias. Yet they chose to condemn America, not the country that Gulf states themselves say is destabilizing the region. So the question becomes, are we listening to the people who actually live with the consequences, or are we reacting based on ideological reflex? Because if the countries most directly affected by Iran's actions are condemning Iran, and outsiders are condemning America instead, that's a serious disconnect, right? When states that are directly impacted jointly speak out, they should, carry weight. Look, you don't have to love America to recognize that if Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, and Qatar, countries with their own complicated histories with the US, are aligned in warning about Iranian escalation, that tells you something, right? It means this isn't about West versus Islam. It's about regional power politics. Geopolitics is not ideological branding. It's about who actually